Hello people, we are Tottenham TV. Good morning to you all. It is match day. It is Tottenham against Chelsea in the final pre-season game out on the tour, out in Sydney. I think there's a trophy up for grabs as well today. So beating Chelsea in the cup final, we'll never take that up.
Pre-season silverware, we're the kings.
Exactly. It's coming home today, people. It's coming home today. We got the predicted lineup absolutely spot on yesterday, which we'll get into in a minute. However, there is a Tottenham update that we have to bring to you before we get into the game, and it's surrounding who that bomber was. We all know De Zerbi has been saying there's a bomber, it's coming. And apparently that bomber is Cody Gakpo of Liverpool, as Paul O'Keefe reporting this morning that Cody Gakpo is now the leading contender as Tottenham look to add to their attacking options. That's been backed up by Timothy and says that Cody Gakpo is the main alternative to Eli Junior Krupi. I mean, it's probably not the hardest thing to work out that it was Cody Gakpo. I mean, if you actually listen to what Roberto De Zerbi was saying, he say we need goals, we need height.
Yeah.
And Cody Gakpo is exactly that. He basically
Ticks both boxes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He explained who Cody Gakpo was without saying the name. And we've spoken about him a lot, haven't we, Cody Gakpo, in the last month? And I've always, spoken about him quite positively. I think he'll be a good signing for Spurs. He's someone that brings guaranteed goals. He's someone as well that has worked with Savinho and Xavi Simons at PSV. So there'll be that synergy there. But I still think, like, with all the names that have been mentioned, like Krupi and everyone like that, it is a bit underwhelming, I would say. But I think he'll be a good signing for Spurs.
Yeah, I think it's underwhelming in the sense that he's a cast-off from I mean, if he was that amazing, Liverpool wouldn't be willing to let him go, would they? So from that point of view, also, what I hear a lot from Liverpool fans, he's a very frustrating player. He's a very selfish player. He can be very, very predictable. He does the same thing every time he gets the ball. He cuts inside and tries to have a shot and all that kind of stuff. So I think from that point of view, you're looking at him and it's like, can we do a bit better than him? Is he special enough? Does he bring enough quality? But you look at his career at Liverpool. I was just looking at the numbers: 159 games, 71 goal contributions. Not like incredible, but it's still very good. It's still like pretty serviceable. It definitely ups the numbers for Tottenham. You're looking at the goal contributions that our attack has been getting the last 2 seasons, and we would very much could do with the Cody Gakpo, reliable source of goals. I think he can do both the ball to feet stuff and the running behind stuff. He's a very, very competent finisher when he's in on goal. As much as he's frustrating, can be a very good long range shooter as well if he gets his timing right. Quite versatile, can play 10, can play up front, can play off the left, although according to the stats his output's much better off the left than it is up front. But maybe De Zerbi can convert him if he playing a bit more central. I think he can definitely do that role. I like Gakpo. I think he's a very good player. Every big tournament as well, he seems to step up. He's like, doesn't mind the big stage. He's could be quite a clutch player in that sense. Like you
seem a lot more positive now than you were when we first spoke about Gakpo.
No, I've always liked Gakpo, but he is frustrating, and the reality is with him is he's quite wasteful. But if De Zerbi could improve his efficiency, even by about 20%, we have a very, very good player there because he has very good output. His biggest weakness is that you need to give him the ball, 10 times. You'll waste it 8 times, and then the other 2 times you'll come up with something.
Yeah, look, for someone so wasteful that's got a goal return like him, he's got a fantastic goal return.
Yeah, but you can't remember Liverpool under Klopp and under Slot, they create a hell of a lot of chances, and they're always on the front foot. And he's basically had lots of opportunities. And look, but he does score. He does get assists. You give him enough opportunities, he will do it.
In that year that that Liverpool won the league, he was so vital. I mean, he scored 18 goals that season. So what I've been saying coming into this window, I want someone that's going to get us guaranteed goals, and I think that he does that.
Yeah.
So he has proven in the Premier League that he can get a high volume of goals. And I think in terms of where we're going to use him, you're looking at how it's shaping up. Let's say, for example, that we do sign Gakpo and Savinho. I think our go-to forward line will be Savinho off the left, Kudus on the right, and Gakpo through the middle. That's what I think it will be. But it gives you variations of things that you can do. So you can do. So our left winger options will be Savinho, Tell, and Gakpo. Up front, our options will be Gakpo, Solanke, Richarlison, and off the right, our options will be Kudus, Savinho, and hopefully Kulusevski. So that gives us 3 options in all 3 departments.
Yeah, so it gives us, I think, exactly what De Zerbi wants: variety, versatility. You could, if you need goal getters, you got Gakpo, you got even hopefully Tel can fit into that. If you're looking for just more dribbly creators, you got Kudus, you got Savinho. So I like the options. Look, when you're looking at adding Savinho and Gakpo to the forward line, is that enough? To be happy with going into the season, them two.
It's underwhelming.
And then maybe, I don't know, what I'm guessing, one of, or maybe even both of Rishi and Solanke end up staying, potentially going into the new season. I look at those attacks, and obviously going into the season, when you're hearing, we're going to go sign 3 attackers, we're going to go big, and especially given how we've signed Tonali, Fernandes, you don't look at Savinho and Gakpo as the same level of signing as Fernandes and Tonali. That's the reality, and given the fact that we went so big in midfield, and there was hope we were going to go so big in attack. We were hoping for a bit more higher quality, but I still think it improves it significantly, and I do still think it puts us in a position where that attack is good enough for me to be potentially in a top 6 challenge, or do what we want to try and do this season. I think there's goals in that attack, there's assists in that attack, there's pace, there's dribbling, there's everything you can't. There's physicality, there's aerial ability. Like, I think obviously it's upgradable, but I think for now, in the short term, I think it's enough for what we need.
I think if we would have made these signings before, like if we spoke about this before the transfer window opened, not knowing that we got Tonali and Fernandes, I think it will be less underwhelming than it is now. Because of signing Tonali and Fernandes, we thought, we'll go majorly big on the forward line. Which is a bit of a kick in the teeth, because I was expecting more and better, and I think these 2 will probably be our only signings in the forward line. But I do think I agree. I think it represents a major step up and a major step forward. And hopefully next summer or in January we can, revisit the Krupi situation, and all of a sudden that looks a lot more healthy and a lot more potent. But I think I think even top 5, top 4 Spurs should be fighting with this squad and with this team. And guaranteed goals, like I keep saying, that's the main thing about this. It brings you guaranteed goals, and Savinho and Kudus guaranteed creators. So Gakpo could even get more goals in this team than he has done in previous years. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gakpo goes and scores. If he is our starting 9 week in, week out, I wouldn't be surprised if he does go and bang 20 goals for us next season.
I'm not convinced about him in the 9, but he could be, to be honest. He's strong, he is tall, and he has a very good finish. So I guess he has the qualities. He's just, whenever he's played 9 for Liverpool, he's not been very convincing. But look, let's see. Look, De Zerbi clearly has a plan for him. I'm very willing to see him in the 9. I'm quite excited about the prospect, but I'm just saying, when I've seen him before there, I've just not been convinced by him in that position.
Yeah,
but
De Zerbi will do wonders with him, don't you worry. We're going Dutch, people. We're basically turning into the Dutch national team.
You got Van der Ven, Van Hecker as well, exactly. Yeah. Xavi.
And just before we move on to the game, just a little update on Cody Romero. ESPN Argentina are claiming that Inter and Tottenham have reached a verbal agreement for Spurs captain Cody Romero in the region of £34.2 million, which is crazy in this current market. But it looks as though Inter might have got their man if they can agree personal terms, which I don't think there's been any suggestion that that's been reached yet.
Damasio, I did read a report, said that Romero has agreed to lower his terms from 6.5 million to 5.5 million. That's what Damasio said, I read this morning. So we'll see how true that is. We'll see how true that it is that that Inter have agreed the fee, or Tottenham have agreed to let him go for so little. It is obviously a shock when it comes to, you look at that figure. But at the end of the day, clearly, we all know he's leaving. We all know he wants out. And if there's not enough interest, we just got to do what we've got to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let us know in the comment section below. What is your opinion on Cody Gakpo to Spurs? Is it underwhelming for you? Is it a good signing? Let us know, because I think when we first brought Cody Gakpo, it was always a very split opinion on Cody Gakpo. A lot of people saying this guy's rubbish, don't bring him in. But a lot of people say, you know, guaranteed goals. It's hard to come by of a signing. Like, what kind of signing could we have brought in that does give you that guarantee of goals? There's not many out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. Especially, you know, left wing or versatile forward in the Premier League. I think it's a good signing. I'm excited about him.
All right. Well, that is your Tottenham update. Let's move